So this seems to be every time I sit in the car and I'm listening to what's going on in our world right now, I just feel like I want to say something and I'm just scared to do it live, I guess. But these are my thoughts on what I'm hearing today. So there is a lot about Henry Novak, and oh my God, what happened to him is horrendous. And yeah, I mean, there's lots being said around race, ethnic minorities and English, British, white, and I hear it. But also, let's just strip it back to basics, that if we are colourblind to everybody, as police should be, definitely everyone should be treated exactly the same, they do receive training that would have protected Henry. And that's Darvo. It is a known, tool in a perpetrator, aggressor, abuser's, arsenal, that they will literally become the victim and switch up roles so that then the victim is now classed or seen as the perpetrator. And what I see is that not only did the police turn up there without any, it's like you don't trust what anyone's saying, you have to gather the evidence and look at the scene. And so they're not doing that. They're turning up there with a preconceived idea because the perpetrator has now called up the police and said this is what's happened. So rather than turning up and thinking, right, what has happened, and let me have a look and evaluate the scene, they've listened to him and taken his word on it. They haven't separated them, and their duty to protect and preserve life, that training went out the window, and the training on Darvo. So they've now believed the perpetrator. And so even if we strip this back to basic training that every single police officer has done or should have done, they've already turned up now with unconscious bias. And again, they've had training on this as well. And I just find it so frustrating that our justice system is letting down so many victims of crime on all levels, that something most definitely has to change. And my experience personally, the criminal justice system, as far as I'm concerned, is not fit for purpose anymore. It is very, very hard to question any mistakes that you observe. And as a victim, you have definitely got less rights than a perpetrator. And I think we've seen that time and time again. And this, to the Victims Commissioner, is one of the things that desperately needs to change, is that victims need rights. Police need to stop saying, oh, we will learn from this and think it's okay. If they're found to be failing, victims of crime repeatedly, how can they just get away with, oh, well, we'll just learn from this. Yes, we appreciate we didn't do things exactly as we should have done. We'll learn from this and we're very, very sorry. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. And too many people are losing their lives, whether they kill themselves because they're not being protected or whether they're murdered by people that are treated better than the victims themselves. So there's my 2 cents for what it's worth.